Yo, peace. Welcome back. Episode 2 of the podcast. So, this conversation is going to be based on perspective. Yeah, man, perspective is crazy because perspective goes into perception. How those two unite? I'm about to get into that, all right? Just hold on 1 second for me. All right, we're back. So, how does perspective and perception relate, right? You can look at things going throughout your life in one way. And then the perception part is that when you tie a belief to that perspective. So now that's perception. Now let me get into a story. I was talking to my little bro. It's actually my cousin, but I call him my little bro. We grew up in the same household, grew up in the same streets, everything like that, right? So we were having a conversation one night and he's venting to me because I know that from talking to my cousin in the past that I'm always giving encouraging advice just to be like, yo, bro, like you don't have to look at this situation like that. You don't have to do that. Like you can do this, you can do that. Try this, try that. Like you have options. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, yo, your story is so powerful, man. You just have to not be afraid of yourself or to be judged by people. And it just goes over his head. That part is like, man, if only it just connects, right? So the perspective part is that, like anyone, you're on the outside looking in. I have this thing about like going around my family and like the life I want and things like that. I come from an environment to where a lot of people that's like on the hustle was like, yo, that's the streets. But then the streets wasn't as bad until I like migrated out, then it got worse. But then as long as I stayed on the porch, I was safe, right? As we got older and got older, we got hip to all this stuff and doing these things and putting our hands in this basket, that basket, this basket, and little bro just kept curving and kept curving. At a younger age, like I just started going this way, and it was like it wasn't even gradual. It was like a slope, you know what I'm saying? And it accelerated, and it was like, yo, like slow that down. But he was saying like you didn't get that advice from me growing up, and of course he has his story of growing up, in which I want him to tell it so bad, man, because it's crazy. So the perspective or the perception that he has is that everything on my side of the fence, the grass is greener, right? That's everybody's perception of everything of what it seems like will be cool, safe, and what they want. I'm letting them vent because, again, it's a conversation. I want to hear it. I want to listen. Like, tell me are your woes, tell me your odds, and like what's really going on, what's bothering you, you know what I'm saying? But everything was a you factor. And it was, you didn't do this, or you didn't tell me that, or you didn't come around, or I call, you don't make the effort to call me, and this or that. And so I'm like, okay, all right. At the end of it, it was pouring out, and I was, you done? And like, you got more. It was like, yo, man, I'm just saying, bro, like, for us to be brothers, man, like, you not holding up your end of the deal. I don't feel appreciated, and this or that. Now, mind you, lil' bro got a lot going on. I'm not gonna share his story. I'm gonna let him tell it, because believe me, I'm gonna get him to tell it. So, while talking to him, I say, all right, now I never really just go into my woes or pains and things. And that was like the one thing that just made me like laugh. And I laughed so hard to myself. It was a deep internal laugh because he was just like, man, I be looking at like the pictures and this or that. And like, man, you don't be going through nothing. So like when I call you and you don't be picking up the phone, man, I just feel played. I don't go through nothing inside. I ain't say that out loud. I was laughing like hell. So it's like, I'm feeling played, man, because, all right, cool. Let me invite you to my world. So then I start running down a list of things, right? Yo, what you know about this? What you know about this? What you know about X while trying to do Y when Z is right around the corner? Or then you have to navigate and it's divided by A. And then you subtracting B. And then wondering if C is even gonna show up. What you know about that? And then I'm not talking about on the increments of the levels to where it was when we was kids, when we was growing up. These numbers, these place values, all this stuff have a whole different place values now. And then he say, but dang, bro, like, I wouldn't be able to tell because you always smiling and cheerful and joyful. And the reason so is because I don't let the distractions of the world or the things that are around me affect who I am. It doesn't affect my being. I am going to be who I am. But I will not let the attachments or the things that I choose to be attached to me because I signed for them, because I purchased them, or as a decision I make, affect my reality of how I treat others or how I'm going to treat myself. It'll never be that, it'll never clash in that way. And this is the things and objectives that I work to teach him, and I work with him, tell him about just mindset and changing, just redirecting your thoughts. Because when you redirect your thoughts, you get into such a deeper understanding of yourself, a meaning behind your actions. His story is crazy. I'm gonna see if I can get him on a podcast episode for him to tell it. I've been telling him to just write like a little mini book and we can push that and see what happens. I wanna share so much more from like his side, but then I don't want it to be third party, like I'm saying it, and then it's like, that's not really what happened because you don't know about this side of it. You know, like, y'all know what I'm talking about. But all right, that's perspective and that's perception. So now what I want you to do as far as the exercise. Check this out. Think about the last time you thought the grass was green on the other side, right? Probably it was a car you wanted, that promotion you wanted, the guy you wanted, the girl you wanted. And when you got these things, reality hit. Yeah, you got it, but guess what? You got to deal with the responsibilities of now having those things. So what is those responsibilities telling you? What was it now that triggered you? Or perhaps these responsibilities come with even more joy, but then there's more on the to-do list now, right? So you probably got these things, and then right there in the bottom pit, a little corner, you're not happy about it. Not as happy as you thought you would be because of the illusion. We get caught up so much in the illusion of happiness, the illusion of joy, that we forget to be in the moment to actually feel like what they're feeling like, right? By perspective, think about the things that you're looking at. Thinking about the beliefs that you tie to them and building that perception. Jot it down, break them apart. Remember, we tear down walls around here. So write about your perception and your perceived thing, and then tear everything around down. Don't tie anything to it, what you expect, how this look. It's no blaming, no finger pointing. It's all internal work. This is the internal work, remember? The shadow work, the spiritual work, self. Because we got to find out why you are you. Now, once you do that, drop your results in the comments, and then we're going to chop it up on the next episode. Or meet me over on the blog on the site. You can check it out. You be you. Because I'm going to be me.